Hey, what's going on, you guys? Good morning, good morning. Happy Good Friday, everybody. We got a few bank holidays and things like that today, but we're going to see if we can capitalize on some things for today. Hey, you guys, send a message in the chat. Let me know where y'all joining from, or who we got. Probably get started probably in the next 2 or 3 minutes, you guys. All right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So y'all know how we do. Before we do anything, we always pray. Let's see. All right, you guys. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for this day. We want to thank you for life, health, and strength. Lord, I thank you for everybody who will be on the stream today. Lord, I pray that if there are any trades that we find that we can capitalize on, I hope that it is a blessing to whoever is under the sound of my voice. I pray that everybody have a great day, a great weekend, going into Resurrection Sunday. And Lord, most of all, we thank you and we praise you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. Good morning, y'all. Like I said, Good Friday. New York session. As you guys can see, today is a bank holiday for Chef. Pretty much, bank holiday for pretty much a lot of different countries and things like that. So if we find anything, we'll see if we do. But the market might move, rather slow today. So we'll see what we got. Hey, and if you guys got any pairs or anything that you guys want to look at this morning, let me know. We can look at whatever you guys want to do. So this time I want to make sure it's dedicated to you guys. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I posted yesterday with GU. Let me show you guys something. Kind of show you where we, what the market is looking like. Let's see. So this particular video that I posted yesterday, talking about the 90 pip move that I caught on GU. Let's kind of look at the market, you guys, and kind of see exactly where we are right now. So right now, some of the things that I like to do when I'm actually going into the market, I like to look at the previous day's candle and kind of mark the high and low of that particular candle. Because sometimes what I'll do, I'll utilize that as my trading range. Let's see. Previous day low, and this is my previous day high right here. So a lot of times I'll utilize this as my trading range for that particular day. It just depends on, what the market is doing, that particular day and things like that. So, but the trade that we caught yesterday, we actually caught that right around here and rode that all the way down to this area here. And we can see that price is kind of consolidating or moving in a sideways trend in this area here. So let's kind of see what we got. Yeah, so all of this area right here, we can kind of condense this in a smaller trading range, so to speak. Something like this. Great range box. So we can utilize this entire area as our trading range for right now. Let's see how many pips this box is. It's about 49, 50 pips or whatever. But it's, like I said, this is pretty much consolidating, so I'm pretty sure this is giving some form of Wyckoff right now. And so when we look at this, we didn't necessarily get, let me take that off. Yeah, we didn't necessarily get equal highs and equal lows on this particular pair yet. So let's kind of look at this from a different perspective. Okay, so we can almost look at this small area as Wyckoff possibly. But like I said, the market isn't really moving too much right now. You can tell because look, we have a lot of exhaustion to the bottom and the top side. It's probably due because it's Good Friday and a lot of banks are closed and things like that. So we'll be lucky to catch some pips today, you guys. I hope we do, but there's some bank holidays going on today. This pair is definitely showing a lot of wick action, which I don't like. Okay, so we'll come back to GU just to kind of see what it does, but you can see we got exhaustion candles all over the place on this thing. Let's check out EU. EU is kind of doing something like the same thing, something similar from yesterday. I caught a trade on this one as well. Actually up in this area, and I think with this one I probably caught maybe about 20-25 pips or so on this particular trade yesterday. So this one is kind of doing the same thing. Let's kind of look at the daily candle on this. Let me remove this box. Well, I don't want my trading range to be that big. So we can look at this entire area here. This will be our previous day's low. This will be our previous day's high right here. Hey, if you guys are in the chat, let me know where you guys are. Let me know where you guys are joining from. pretty much the same thing. This thing is kind of ranging as well. It's kind of settling in this area right here. Not a lot of action. If you look at this, these small candles, these are hourly candles right here. So it's not really moving too much. This is our trading range, but let's kind of look on the 4 hour just to see anything. Yeah. So price has been stuck in this area for a while. So if you kind of look at the daily right now, the daily, today's daily candle has only moved about 30 pips on EU. So that's, like I said, it's possibly due to this being Good Friday and things like that. That a lot of pairs is going to move a little slow. Let's look at gold. Gold as well. I have this one condensed as well from the previous day's high and low. This one did get some traction though. Let's see. This moved about 200 pips, you know, since about 5 o'clock Central yesterday. It's kind of low. Let's look at our sessions just to see when the market opened. Let me see something for a second. New York session. Yeah. So as you can look at this, when the market opened for New York this morning, let me go to the hourly or 30 minute. It was about 6 o'clock Central Time. Probably about 45 minutes ago, we can see that this was the open here, and this is, let's kind of notate that right quick. So far, this right here is New York's high. This is New York's high for right now. So we can kind of look at this to kind of say, okay, see what this thing is playing with. Let's look at London for a second. So London started here, and this is London's low right here. Let's look at both New York and London. Okay, this is London's low right here. So we can kind of look at this as well, just to kind of, you know, get a picture of where the market is at that particular time. So this is New York's high. This is London's low. So price is pretty much playing in this area, but it's not really moving, you guys. As you can see from London, when London closed, let's see. It's not really moving. None of these pairs really are moving, you guys. Kind of look at it. This is G-Chef. I believe this is definitely a bank holiday. Yeah, the chef. So a lot of these pairs are going to be a little bit stagnant. Let's look at some other pairs that I used to dabble with. About GA. Let's check out GA. See if GA got any traction. Let's look at the previous day's high and low. many of you guys be trading GA? I used to trade this pair. It actually used to be my favorite pair. Current market on GA. For our perspective, we can see that we were initially in a down structure. Low, high, low. We got a breakup structure right here. You guys have any pairs that you want me to mark up for you or that you want to look at? So we have a retest in this area here. Didn't quite get down here to the 50% area, but I can see prices starting to go back up. So with something like this on this retest here, definitely would have missed that, because I don't take any trades in this area here. Like I said, GA, it moves a little weird. It don't always do exactly what, some of the things that I'd be expecting it to do. So hence why I don't trade it as much as I used to. But if you catch it right, I mean, with any pair, you still kind of stick to your principles. It'll kind of give you some of those things that you're looking for. However, if you find yourself trading a pair that don't, that constantly go against the things that you your strategy, hey, leave it alone. Find another pair. Ain't no need to, force a strategy on a pair that doesn't work. And then you ultimately, you're constantly losing with that pair. Find a pair that's conducive to your strategy, your style, and then you just kind of trade it like that. Bring it down to the 1 hour, kind of see what we're looking like. High, higher low, higher high, higher low. Kind of see that from an hourly perspective. This thing it looked like it's almost, let me switch my fibs up on a different one. Retail fib. So if we look at this, we can see that this thing has been respecting the 38.2. Like I said, it respects that sometimes. Some traders actually trade the 38.2. So even if I don't really take trades off the 38.2, but let's look at this. Let's look at this swing here. The swing high here. Yeah, it's GA. So that can be something like, if this is a pair that you trade, like if I ever went back to trading GA like that, I would do a lot of back testing just to test the fib, just to see, because I can tell on these last two swings, GA has been testing at 38.2. I'm curious. Let's check it out. Let's see. So from this swing to this swing, let's see if GA respects the 38.2 on this swing from here to here. Because that might be a trend. Sometimes pairs change like that. Yeah, it's respecting the 38.2 a lot. Okay, it did, however, come back to this area here. So that's the 50 right there, though. But we can see it's respecting the 38.2 right here. So that's definitely something to think about if you guys do trade GA. Do some back testing just to see, what those swings are respecting. I can tell that this one is respecting the 38.2. It's weird because I remember in 2021, early 2021, gold used to always respect the 68, the negative 68 extension. I'm sorry, the 61.8. And then like closer to the latter of the year, it really started going to that 78.6. Like it was weird. And so now gold, you know, it'll range in between those areas. Sometimes it'll come almost all the way back to the 100. You know, it just depends on how that particular pair is looking at the time. But yeah, pairs, they kind of, I don't know, it's like almost like the banks. You know, they say, well, retail traders are starting to get used to these different retracements. Let me switch it up a little bit. Here's AU. Yeah, with this pair, this is a pair that, you know, I looked at, you know, a while ago. So from a weekly perspective, you know, there was a huge, you know, continuation demand zone here, which price can possibly hit this and go to the upside. Because if you look at this pair, and it possibly can come a little further than that. On AU, it was in a down structure. Came down here, and we had a weekly breakup structure here. But price is possibly going to retest right here, something like that. However, when you look at this, before all of this price action happened, when it got a breaker structure, it actually came back already and tested, you know, more than 50%. And so that's why I actually had this area here called a mitigated zone. So that's probably a video I'll probably do. Do any of you guys know about mitigated zones? So basically how they work, you know, it's rather simple. So basically, you know, you guys, when we kind of use the fibs and we say, okay, let me throw a Fibonacci. So for example, I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So let's just say if none of this price action was here. And let's say we got a breakup structure and you see prices coming back to retest some order block in this area. And we can see that we have this massive order block here. But if we break it down to a smaller time frame, you can see we have this order block here. And basically, if you draw your demand zone here, when price comes back to test this area and then continue to the upside. What all the homies saying? Hey, Chip Chime, hey, I appreciate the subscribe, man. I appreciate the love, man. Welcome to the crew. So hey, you guys, when price comes back and it actually tests a zone here, then basically, and it starts to go back to the upside, then this particular demand zone has been mitigated. So meaning that price has already come back to retest this area and then it's went on by this business, because this demand zone, you know, price has to come back to that area, you know, because you have these inefficiencies. Let me take that off. You have these inefficiencies in the market as well. And so these are unfulfilled orders. This is unhealthy price action, you know, and then you have this demand zone here that created this level of demand. So in order for equilibrium to be in the market, price has to come back and test that zone. So now that it has tested zone, and if we kind of play price, you can see price has already hit this zone and it's moving to the upside. So this is considered as a mitigated zone. So hence why I kind of had this here to let me know that this breakup structure has already been mitigated on that weekly time frame that we were actually looking at. Hey you guys, and if you're just joining the stream, if you guys have any pairs that you want to look at or anything like that, let me know. Also, you guys, if there are any videos or strategies that you guys like me to record or do for you guys, let me know. Let me know. I'm always excited to help, you know, create any type of videos. And for those who are just joining us, the markets might be a little slow today because it's a bank holiday. So we're just looking at different pairs right now. Any type of pairs you guys have, just let us know. Let's check out Euro Chef. You know what? Let's look at GJ, you guys. I haven't looked at that pair in a while. GBP, JPY. Let's look at GJ. Yeah, this might be a pair that's not necessarily affected by the bank holiday today. Let's see. Well, maybe. Look at the previous day's candle. Well, it's moving. As you can see, we got continuation order blocks here. So let's look at this. Let's look at the market structure on this and kind of see what GJ is doing, you guys. As we can see, from a daily perspective, it was almost in some sort of range before it broke out. Let's drop down to the 4 hour to kind of look at that price action. Okay, so we can look at this. So on the 4 hour, high, higher low. This is our next higher high, higher low. Price action was a little weird on this one. So let's mark this up to make sure, because it looks weird. Let's go ahead and mark our areas. Higher high, higher low. This is our next higher high and a higher low. Let's see what we got. Hourly perspective, we got higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Let's look at these swings. Now on the test of 50, okay. Down to test of 38.2. Let's see something right here. Actually finished its Fibonacci sequence because it's actually hit the 68, the negative 68. So that could have been a TP2. But yeah, a lot of these pairs are not really doing too much, you guys. So I can see that pretty much the market is extremely stagnant today. Extremely stagnant. So hey, you guys, we're gonna probably be on here for a few more minutes because we can see there's not a lot of confluences. Well, we do got some 7:30 action in about, we got some news that's gonna come up probably about 7:30, then about 28 minutes or so. So we'll sit tight and see, what this one is talking about. Empire State Manufacturing Index. Level of the index based on several factors. Greater for the forecast is good for currency. So we'll see. We'll see what that does. That'll give us any kind of traction within the market, you guys. Check out USD CAD. USD CAD and see what it's doing, you guys. Straight doji on this joint right now. USD CAD, let's see. Got a break of structure right here on the daily. Or we never know, this possibly could be, you know, another higher low maybe to impulse up here. We don't know. We don't know how this thing is, but this could, you know, I'm thinking that this is a break of structure. So if we kind of look at that, price has tested this 50% area. It's already came up to this area, so let's kind of look at this thing. You can see it tested these continuation order blocks in this area here. Right here, the supply zone that was tested. And price went to the downside. So let's look at something. Come to the 1 hour. Yeah. So it's tested those right there. And in situations like that, it's kind of hard to kind of figure that out, you guys, when you're looking at this, because you got these continuation order blocks all through here. Bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish. They're just continuation order blocks. So on something like this, it's kind of hard to determine exactly what price is going to bounce off of. So you would really have to dial down to all of these different time frames to kind of see. And you want to kind of notate, you know, different supply areas. But on something like this, the best thing to do is whenever it bounces off an area like that, you possibly drop to a lower time frame. I usually like to go to the 15-minute or something like this. When it bounces off of that, once you get that break of structure, then that'll kind of let you know that price is possibly ready to turn around. Because as you can see with this thing, we got a break of structure. And then for me, I marked up this supply zone here. And so with this break of structure, throw the fibs on here. In this area here, it came up and tested this 78.6. I would like to see it come up to this supply zone here. However, in this area right here, let's see exactly what was here. I want to put a horizontal ray right here on this particular wick, because I'm curious to see exactly what did price see right there. We got these continuation order blocks, but is it something that's, I don't really see anything that really stands out. Well, possibly this here, or maybe this one. Let's look at the 1 minute. So we got this small supply zone here. It's extremely small. We got a couple imbalances or efficiencies right up in this area as well. So this is pretty much where the wick from, this area right here. So we can see price came wick this area. And yeah, that's what happens. So when you have areas like that you can't really, you know, it's not clear, you know, one of the things you do, you just stick to your principles and wait for a break of structure. And that's pretty much what I had to do with this particular pair. You know, I haven't taken any trades off of this yet, because, you know, for me, for my bias, you know, I was looking for price to get up to this area here, the supply zone. But you know, that might not be the case. It might not get up there. So price came back and retested. Now we're in a down structure, you know, so we'll see, you know, we'll see what price gives us. But for me, drop down to the 1 minute. Let's see something. So we were in this up structure from the 1 minute perspective. We had a break of structure here on the 1 minute. Price dropped down, gave us a retest on the 1 minute. And then price started consolidating something insane. Look at this. Look how crazy this is on a 1 minute. This looks absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. Definitely stay away from this. But right now, this is ugly, ugly market structure. Look at all these wicks. Look at this. Let's go to the 5 minute to look. This is nasty. So this is the reason why I didn't necessarily, you know, really look to anything to even take any entries off of this. I mean, because if you look at this, let's look at the 4 hour, just to humor me on this thing. These are 4 hour candles. Let's see how big the, okay, so that one was about 38 pips. But if you look in the last couple of joints, this one here, in 4 hours, this thing moved about 20 pips. This one here moved about 13 pips. So yeah, it's not really showing me too much. One thing to take note of though, you guys, if you guys look at this pattern right here, this is a tweezer bottom right here. This is a tweezer bottom. And so this is a reversal. This is a reversal Japanese candle pattern right here. This is a pattern that I used to trade a lot on the 4 hour, and I'll possibly do a video on this tweezer bottoms on the 4 hour. So if we notice, look at what price is right now. If we come here, it's sitting at a bank zone, at a bank level right now. And this is how I used to look at tweezer bottoms. Whenever they planted on a key level, what I would do, I would wait for the tweezer bottom to close on the 4 hour. And then I would look at price action. I would dial down to the 1 hour, 15 minute and things like that. Look at price action and kind of wait for price to give me a higher low or something like that. And then I'll ride it up literally to the next level. Like I will possibly ride it up to 1.27, you know, depending on price action and things like that. But like I said, I used to trade that a lot. Tweezer bottoms were probably one of my favorite patterns to trade. Like I said, I will wait for those tweezer bottoms to close on the 4 hour, look at price action, dial down to the 15 minute, and I would take a trade. But tweezer bottoms, those are some of my absolute favorite patterns to trade. Tweezer bottoms, Marabozos, evening stars, morning stars. Yeah, I'm gonna probably do a video on those particular price action patterns. But yeah, tweezer bottoms, those definitely are my favorite to trade. Yeah, it's definitely a confluence right there. But however, you definitely want to be mindful as well, because when looking at this thing here, you know, we had a break of structure, price coming back, things like that. And so possibly this tweezer bottom, what it could be is an indication that it'll come back up to the supply zone, which is the bias in which I'm looking for anyway. And so we can get something to come back up there, and actually my supply zone possibly needs to be, well, no, it was already mitigated right there. Price came up and actually tapped this and actually closed this inefficiency right there. So, but yeah, for me, I want to see price come back up to this area here. I don't even know what area that supply zone is. There we go. It's a 15 minute. Let me notate that. 15-minute supply. But yeah, that's where I want to see you guys. I want to see it come back up there, but that is something to notate, that we possibly have a 4-hour tweezer bottom right here. That's a possible. We can always come back and kind of look at that. Possible 4-hour tweezer bottom. USD CAD, you guys. Hey Steph, good morning. Yeah, the markets are extremely slow this morning. I do see that we got a little bit of news at 7:30, and possibly because it's Good Friday, most banks are closed. So yeah, we're gonna see what this 7:30 news give us. If this don't really give us anything, then we'll probably shut it down, but we're gonna probably find another day that we can stream, because a lot of times it's hard for me to stream during the week because I work during the week, but it's Good Friday, so I wanted to stream today, but it looked like the markets are extremely slow. But yeah, it's extremely slow today, so we'll see though. Hey Steph, are there any pairs or any videos or strategies that you'd like to see? Anything, just let me know, because right now we're just pretty much sitting here waiting. We got about 14 minutes until that news pop off, and right now we're just going through pairs, just looking at different things, marking up stuff. So these are pairs I haven't looked at in so long. EA, this is another pair that I used to trade as well. I don't trade it as much no more. That's really, really good market structure though, when you look at it. Really good market structure. Let's look at right now what we're looking at. On this one, it's creating lower highs and lower lows. Right now, it came up to the 61.8. It closed this inefficiency that we had right here in the market. Tap that imbalance right in this area here. We can actually remove this. We don't need that anymore. Drop down to the 4-hour just to see what we're looking at. Okay, let's drop down to the hourly just to see if we get anything in this area. Drop down to the 15. Looking at this 15, higher high, higher low, higher high. Low here. Break of structure actually in this area here. Came back for the retest. Right in this area, where is that at? Clear to me really on EA as well. SP 500. Let's check it out. Hey Steph, did you catch any good trades? Any good trades this week? Hey, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Let's start off on the weekly with this one, just to see what it was doing this week. You know what? We're not gonna start off on the weekly because it's Friday and this week is almost over, pretty much. What we can do. Oh, you know what? Let's see something. Let's look at the market structure on this. Low. Breaker structure. This area here. Okay. Retest this area here. Tap the 50%, which is acceptable, but let's still see. So some of the things I see though, see we have an imbalance in this area right here. Oh yeah, I'm with you, Steph. I see, yeah, this thing, it looked like it's still coming down some more. I can definitely see that. I see it tap to 50%, but yeah, I think it still got some room to come down because we definitely have room that I can see. Zone right here. Let's drop down to the 4 hour to see what we have. So we can condense this a little bit down here. Well, I'm gonna keep it right here because I see another inefficiency right here that needs to be filled. So I'm gonna keep my demand zone that big for that one. However, I do see another bullish, bearish, bullish here. It looked like price literally came down to respect that area. So this might be another point of interest possibly that I can see. In this area right here. So these are a couple of point of interests that we can look at. There's also another possibly here though. So we have a few areas that we can look at in the market. But one of the things that we have to do to kind of capitalize on which one it'll bounce off of, we just got to see, if it bounce off of an area, what we can do, we can drop down to the 15 minute to see if we have a break of structure. That's what I usually do. I usually drop down to the 15 minute whenever it gets down to any one of these demand zones or something like that. And when it bounces off and gives me a break of structure on a 15, then I'll drop down to the 1 minute and actually look for another break of structure to go to the to the upside or whatever the case may be. Or what you can do, because this is, we got market structure going to the downside, we can actually look to continue this pattern as opposed to waiting for a break of structure. So for example, as you can see, we have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, so on and so forth. So we can see that this has already tapped the 61.8. So usually when your fibs are complete, when it's completed this cycle, it'll hit this negative 27 or this negative 61.8. And then once that happens, that's going to give us another retracement. So let's kind of test that. If we come up to this retracement here, we can see it came up to the 50%. It bypassed this negative 27, so we're coming down possibly here. When it get down here, we might get another retracement. So we just have to look at the market and kind of see exactly what it'll give us. But right now, we can pretty much ride with the trend because, like they say, the trend is your friend. And if you look on the daily, we have, possibly a bearish, bullish, bearish, or we can just possibly, not necessarily a bearish, bullish, bearish, because this candle isn't the same as this one, but we can still look at this area here as a supply zone. And I'm with you, Steph. I definitely believe that price is going to continue on the way down because it still has some room to go for this retest. So that's what I can see. kind of sort of right now in the market. I hope that helps a little bit. But yeah, that's what I see for this particular pair. Let's go ahead and check out US 30. Man, this is some stuff I did a long time ago when I was testing this pair. Let me remove that. All right, let's check out US 30, you guys. See what we got. All right. Okay, so we're continuing in that down structure. As you can see, lower high, lower low, all of that good stuff. So let's actually take our fibs, throw it on here, look and see what we have. So we can see price is definitely within our golden zone. So one of the things that we can possibly look at, hold on, before we do that, let's measure these retracements right quick. If I come up to this swing here, so if we look at this particular swing here, let's look at this one and this one here. So that's what we're taking our fibs from right now. So if we're looking at that, we can see that price retrace back into our golden zone, possibly in this area here, because there's an imbalance that it filled right here. Inefficiency right here that it filled. We see the price dropped off and it came down not quite to the -27, but it's good enough, you know, so that cycle finished. So because that cycle finished, now we can look at this swing here from this one to this one right here. So we see that it is completing its sequence. So we can see now that it's come up to this 78.6, and what did it do? It came up here to this area here, to this supply zone. However, it looked like it didn't make it quite to the supply zone. However, let me remove this. There is still an inefficiency right here. It's a small one. Let me remove this for a minute. There's a small one here that we can see price came up and tapped. It looked like it was filled here, but it didn't fill it all the way. So it still didn't fill it all the way, but it looked like price came up to this area to actually tap this area again. So when looking at that, let's break this thing down again. So if we go to our we go to our fibs one more time. Let's look at our possible target. Possible target could be somewhere in this area here, which will probably take a while because this is the daily time frame. This can be a potential target for a swing trader. Daily target. I mean, because we can see that from a daily perspective that those targets are being respected from the -27. However, let's break this down to a smaller time frame to see what we can actually capitalize on right now. So when you look at this from a 4-hour perspective, we have lower high, lower low, lower high. I'm sorry, lower low. Let's see. This is our last valid lower high here. This would be, but this area here didn't break this this low here. So this is our break of structure point here. See, price is starting to come around. So possibly one thing that I can see, hold on, let me make sure I'm looking at this thing correctly. I'll make sure I'm not looking at this wrong. Structure here. retest, go to the downside, going up. High, alright, low. Okay, here's my break of structure on a 4 hour to signify that we're going to go back down, possibly. Make sure I'm not confusing myself on this thing, you guys. Break of structure. Okay, it's coming down. Okay, no, we don't need that. So we still have some ways to go. So for this, what we can capitalize off of right now, there is a point of interest that I can see here, a demand zone right here. Let's remove this. We have a demand zone here. I'm going to move it up a little bit because we have an inefficiency right here as well. So sometimes I like to have my demand zones kind of cover that inefficiency as well. We also have an area here that's respected. That can be looked at as a possible demand zone. All right, so let's drop it down to the 1 hour and see what we can kind of capitalize off of from this perspective. So on the 1 hour, market structure is a bit ugly. Lower low. No. Here we go. That's our market structure for our hourly. So from an hour perspective, we're on a down structure. This thing came all the way up here. It tapped this level of supply in this area here. Now we're continuing to the downside. Let's look on the 15-minute. Okay, so we had a break of structure here. On the 15-minute. And so one of the things that we need a retest. Wow, look at this though. What do you guys see right here? Head and shoulders pattern, or some people call it a quasi. But what we can do, we can see we got a break of structure right here, which is the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern. So we definitely, from here to this area, we want to see a retest back in this area here before we take it to the downside, because we can tell that we're moving to the downside. So from here, we want to be somewhere up in this area here. So I automatically see a few things. I see an imbalance right here. Man, you guys, we just missed the 730 mark. I'm gonna finish marking this up though. I don't know if anything popped off. Right here, this is an imbalance that we can see price could possibly come back to, or price could possibly come all the way back to this area here, this level of supply right here. And if that happens, what we can do, I don't know how big this is. Large, but we can kind of look and see, you know, what it'll give us when it gets up to that point. But we break it down to the 5 minute. I frequency areas here, but this might be a bigger confluence because of this imbalance right here. Like price literally might come up to this area here. You can use your supply to cover that inefficiency as well, and possibly come up and tap this entire area here before it goes to the downside. So what I will probably do with something like this is I will wait for it to come up here, set an alert or something in this area, wait for it to come up here, tap this area, and see if you get a break of structure to the downside on the 1 minute. Once you get that break of structure, it come back to retest, man, it's gonna be a good trade that you can hop in. Because if you look at this thing, just from a 15-minute perspective, if you just wanted to just follow, be conservative on the 15-minute, because if you caught an entry up in this area here, let's just say you caught an entry here, stop loss maybe here, or whatever the case may be, you can easily ride that thing down to this negative 27 or even the 61.8. Because that's just from a 15-minute perspective. But if you're on a 4-hour and you're looking at it from a 4-hour perspective, then of course you can get more pips. But you want to be conservative and you want to get in the market and get out. Now, if you're a swing trader, then that's a different story. But I hope that helps. This pretty much is what I kind of see on US 30. But yeah, man, I hope that helps. That's my analysis for US 30. Let's go check out GU right quick, because I know we just missed that news. But let's see what we're looking at. Still didn't do nothing. This is the 7:30 candle. Let's go to the 30-minute. Yeah, that news didn't do nothing but create a doji. Yeah, it didn't do anything. Let's look at EU. Yeah, so we really didn't miss anything. Look at gold. 7:30 candle here for gold. I move about 17 pips. Nothing really to, rant and rave off of, but, But that US 30, I actually kind of like that though. Let me go back to that US 30 trade pair. Yeah, this is a pair I actually might, look at for next week. Let me actually set some alerts for this. I don't trade US 30 that much. I do trade it a little bit. Let's see, US 30 approaching POI. I hope that helps. But yeah, that's some of the things that I actually see for US 30. You guys see anything else that you want me to mark up, or anything you guys want to look at? But yeah, I actually like the way this actually played out with this particular pair. You guys, like Steph said earlier, it looked like the markets are extremely stagnant. They're not really moving or doing too much. And all the pairs that I usually trade is showing mad wick action up in this joint. I wouldn't touch none of this. Yeah, they're all pretty much not really moving, so yeah, if you guys don't have any other pairs or anything, we're probably gonna shut it down, because 7:30 was the only thing that we were really looking for, possibly, but we can tell it's not really doing anything. Everything else is pretty much nothing. But hey, for the few that were here, hey man, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me today. As always, it's greatly appreciated. I'm definitely going to plan some more live streams and possibly try to put those around days that are not on a holiday, and hopefully we can catch some pips on a day where we have some high frequency news, but we'll be mindful of that news and not to let that news, kind of, mess us up when we're trying to trade. But hey, you guys, as always, appreciate you guys rocking with us. And I'll holler at you guys. Yeah, hopefully we can catch some pips next time. I'll holler at y'all. Y'all have a good one.